welcome to episode 2 of the OH.Report podcast, your one-stop shop for conversation on all the latest news and info from the sports galaxy in North Central Ohio and beyond, mixed up with some pop culture and a little bit of horseplay that's sure to kill a few brain cells along the way. I'm the host. People call me Brian because that's the name my mama gave me, and I'm currently staying at my mom's house here in beautiful Craig, Colorado. That's right, your boy working on vacation because the crew, they get a little bit confused like the puppy who lost his way when I'm not around. So let's all get a little bit dumber and meet the team right now. Standing at 6'4" in his own mind, with the legendary of life accomplishments, give it up for the one and only big league Travis Berardi. Woo!
What's up, everybody?
Woo! Yay, Travis! Next up, he tips the scales at over 200 pounds, and that's just the chicken fingers and mullet weight. Hello, Storm Blunchley! That is a lot of man right there. And with a face so round that it actually works as a spare tire, it's the always adorable Garrett G-Man Parlett. Let's go, G-Man. And whoa, free tickets to the gun show. Wasn't expecting all of that. And first off, guys, what a weird way to start my vacation for me and the family. Moments before we are about to leave, my kids actually found a wild turtle playing on our basketball hoop in the alley, so of course we had to adopt it, duh. And Storm and G-Man, you happen to be the lucky fellas staying at my house this week, so you got to play pet shop. How's the turtle habitat actually coming along? Like, what's that looking like?
It's pretty good, I think. I say I think because I've never had to take care of a reptile before, but he's bad. He's been being pretty bad, misbehaving. So I don't know. Right, G? But right, G-Man. He's been like flipping himself over, pooping all over the place, being a little rambunctious.
He tries to escape from the corners. He like tries to climb up the walls and then like messes up with the grass on the bottom and flips himself over in the water. It's kind of funny, but Storm's in love with him, so I think he's going to be in good care under Storm. I think Storm's going to get him right now.
I had to interrupt. He was eating,
so I might get lucky
eating
and be
a
able
strawberry.
To pawn him off. Oh, look at the cute little guy. And I understand that you got a couple names in the works. So what are you thinking about calling the guy?
Well, I was thinking Tortimus, the adolescent mutant fighter, kind of like a spinoff on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Flipsy, because he just flips himself over all the time.
Yeah, well, the first one, it really rolls right off the tongue, Storm. It'd be super easy for a meet and greet with that name. I kind of like Flipsy, though. It's got a unique little twist to it. I don't think I have a Flipsy in my life, so that might work. I'll run it by the kids and see what they think. Seems like maybe you're kind of falling in love with this guy. You might take him home by the end of the trip.
Maybe, I don't know. He's been being my best friend here recently. He's been keeping me company.
G, do you take offense to that?
No, he can. He's been having a little fun times down there with the turtle late nights, so I don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Well, I can tell you this, guys. The NCO All-Star Football game, that was a bit of a turtle race in the second half, following what was a really exciting first half. Super explosive, lots of offense, but no one scored after the midway point of the second quarter in a 28-21 victory by the South, the 6th win in a row for the South squad, mind you. Travis, we'll start with you. What was your overall take from Friday night's All-Star festivities?
I mean, a lot of spirited play, I guess you could say, especially in the second half. Got a little chippy there. The North, they had a chance in the fourth quarter. They had first and goal from the 5, and the South squad, 4 big stops. Then they got the ball with about 7 minutes left, and with Scott Spittler and his offense, they just run 3 yards at a time. It looked like a good old Lucas football game there. Ran the clock out, got the victory. But, the first half, it was exciting, had some big plays. But other than that one drive by the North in the second half, it was a defensive battle sprinkled in with a little bit of a Spittler running offense. But, it's cool just to see these area kids, the good talent from North Central Ohio get to play one more time. And it was cool to see just the Colt Corral be filled up. It was finally a football atmosphere after a year and a half of COVID restrictions and, quarter attendance at football games and stuff. So it was cool to see a packed house for once.
Yeah, I'm with you. The most exciting players to me were actually both on the losing team. I really enjoyed watching Ethan Phillips of Norwalk and Kenyon Cathy of New London because, like you said, the fiery guys, they like to fuse for their teams and they get that crowd involvement. And we actually had a crowd at a football game. Hadn't seen that in over a year. So I thought that them two guys were impressive to me, even though they came out on the L side of things. G-Man, what'd you think about Friday night's All-Star football games? I know it was a game that you kind of wish that you could have played in a couple years ago during your senior year, and you just didn't end up getting chosen for it.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing, but shout out to all those guys. They definitely deserved it, but it was. I thought it was going to be a very exciting game. I mean, the first half was back and forth. I believe the north side was passing the ball a lot, and then the south side would just go right back to the running game and milk the clock. And finally, the second half, it was it was a show to see, I guess you could say. Coach Spittler, doing his thing, and it was fun to be on the sidelines. It was just great to have that football atmosphere back, have the fans, and they were trash talking, so they did make it at least exciting on the defensive end.
Yeah, nothing could have been more Scott Spittler and Lucas football than the way that game ended. Just 3 yards and a little crowd of dust there on the turf, over and over, milking that clock until they ended up getting the dub. And actually, we as a unit, we all participated in some all-star football practices this last week. We competed in various competitions against some of the best seniors in the area. Storm, we haven't heard from you yet. What did you learn about yourself and maybe the unit as a whole and what we have collectively as a bunch of athletes here on the OH Report? What do you know now?
I know we don't look the part, but hey, we can compete. We're a bigger group of guys collectively. I think excluding yourself, Brian. I believe you're probably the only fit one to that is on the squad. But I mean, we can hold our own. These big boys can move.
And in addition to the All-Star competition, G-Man also got his chance to tango a little bit with All-Ohio wide receiver Blaine Bowman of Shelby, who was determined to just haunt Garrett in his nightmares, I swear. He even followed him after the showdown to his dinner hangout like the boogeyman stalking his prey. The video, I'm told, is going to be dropping soon, so you can see G-Man versus Bowman. But first, give us a little preview and share with us how your recovery is going following that soul snatching by the Hungry Hounds in front of the whole team, too.
Yeah, Brian, I got dogs. It's simple as that. Obviously, we'll see the video, but I have looked at the clips, and it really doesn't look as bad as it has, or it did it. Excuse me. But I've been in Ski's House of Pain, putting in some work, got the boxing gloves on, putting on a show down there. Storm's been my trainer, so we're ready to go, and I'm excited to get out to Crestview and challenge their wide receivers. So, but shout out to Blaine Bowman, man. He's a great player, and he's very quick.
Yeah, he just finished up like a couple of hours of practice that day, but G-Man was wrapping up a long week, double duty, chopping up all that fruit at his day job at Bueller, filming it with us at the OH Report at night. How big of a factor do you think that was for the overall fatigue, Travis, given the fact that I heard Garrett didn't even have a second lunch that day? He was way off his game.
Yeah, sometimes when you get out of your normal situation, you get out of that normal plan that you go through, it hurts. It messes with the mind, and I think that's that's a big reason why G was off of his game. I mean, we saw how good he was against Avion Gross. He forced overtime there. I mean, you have off days. Everybody has their off day, and I think that was it for G. If we would have gone to B-Dubs beforehand and had our dinner, maybe, he would have had that energy. But, I believe in G-Man. I think he'll bounce back.
Yeah, I do too. And we're just going to keep challenging more high school athletes throughout the summer. So look for videos dropping, week after week. We ain't scared. We'll take our L's. We'll take our humble pie with a little bit of spirit on the OH Report. So look for those. But let's move on from a Shelby legend to an Ohio sports legend. Mansfield's own Taylor Huff continues to add to her outrageous of major awards. Named the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Ohio, giving her a clean sweep of every major award that she could possibly win in the Buckeye State, including Miss Ohio, State Player of the Year for the second straight season, and was even named National Player of the Year by the Coaches Association. And I've been on record as saying that T. Huff, easily the best athlete that I've seen, period, at the high school level. That includes the boys and the girls. She was crazy her entire career, even starting as a freshman. And she's going to be moving on to the University of Tennessee, guys, of course, playing at the next level. We'll start with you, Storm. Do you see her, though, eventually making that next jump in the leap? She's already competing with the national team, but do you see her donning the red, white, and blue and playing for the Olympic squad in the future?
I don't see how she could not. I mean, she's that good. I mean, just like you said, one of the greatest high school athletes I've ever seen, and just her natural and raw talent, and how it's not even that, just how dedicated she is to like practicing and stuff, and how much work she'll put in the off season. It's insane, and I would be shocked to see if she wasn't going to take that next step and wear the red, white, and blue for the Olympic team.
G-Man, I mean, you saw her up close and personal a bunch too. Do you think, obviously in the state of Ohio, I mean, she's one of the top dogs, period. But do you think she has what it takes at national level to be one of the best 24 players in all the United States?
Man, it's tough to say, but I mean, as Storm has mentioned, her work ethic is pretty unreal. I mean, we've been to the practices, and she's always front of the pack. I mean, I remember just being at games when Madison would need a goal, she would take it from the midfield all the way to the goal and score, and go through 8 defenders on her way there. So it's going to be tough, but I mean, I got faith in Taylor Huff, and I believe she'll be able to make that squad.
Yeah, and I talked to Taylor a bit about her training with the national team, and she said even against those girls that it's kind of just an innate ability for her. She can dribble around pretty much anybody. So I don't think anything's going to get in her way. Travis, I'm sure you agree. Well, we both feel like eventually she's going to be on that Olympic squad.
Yeah, she's going to Tennessee, a nationally ranked squad. She's going to lead them, get her a year or two there, and that's going to impress, I think, the top national team for the U.S. You know, I don't know if she'll make the next World Cup for the national team, but I do think by 2024 she'll be making the trip alongside Mansfield native Natalie Hirschberger, who I think will make it to Paris as well for Taekwondo. I think we'll have 2 Mansfield area athletes competing for the red, white, and blue for possibly a gold medal, because I think both have the ability to, you know, get the job done. So that'd be cool. So Brian, you and I, we got to get our plane tickets for Paris for 2024 to cover those two, because I think it's going to happen.
Oui, enchanté, Travis. I cannot wait to go see the Olympics and our girls right here, girl power right here in the Mansfield area. And I know I'm going to be getting a new package with the SEC network so I can watch Taylor play next year. But a game that I guarantee nobody is going to be subscribing to watch is my Father's Day golf outing yesterday, where myself and my wife challenged my sister Laura and her husband Maddie to a couples round out at the Yampa Valley Golf Course. The following video is from that competition. I must say, viewer discretion is advised.
So Maddie needs a mulligan. It's the first tee though, right? Like everyone, that's just kind of a rule universally. He'll take it. Where'd it go though?
Just right there.
Yeah.
I said a bird.
Not too far. Oh, by that dead bird carcass? All right. Look for the dead pheasant.
Dang, I wish I was on the green one. I ain't Happy Gilmore. It's a par 5.
There you go. Here's your ball.
That 180 out though. So me and Maddie 180 out on our first hit. Let's go.
Ooh, that was pretty good.
Not bad, right?
That was good.
All right, wife, you better go take care of business on the green.
All right.
Count on you.
Hold my sunglasses, please. Thank you.
No press for you. Let's go. And the best part about Colorado is that your victory drink, for whatever reason, like you feel like you're cheating yourself if you don't have a mountain on it. So I get to drink Busch Light out here. Yeehaw. Cheers to me. I'll move the cart. So Brian taking off in his private jet from his copter hangar in Craig, Colorado, Moffett County, going to the next destination. Tell him that's me.
All right, so here's Brian in his private jet flying from Craig, and he's flying somewhere else. Oh, wait a minute. He's right here.
Cam over there.
Oh, wait. I lost the plane, but Brian Skrosky's right here.
It's all about faking it until enough people believe it. If you just fake it long enough and you believe you can make it happen. Sometimes you hit it right in the truth. And if it doesn't come back and hit you in the face, that's called success.
That's called winning.
Success.
You better hit another one.
Winning. Alright, you gotta pick up these clubs from
Okay.
being full speed.
I got it.
Full speed, 2 clubs.
Oh, wait, I can't. I'm not putting that.
Oh, hold on.
You're running over.
Oh my god. So we ran over one. Here we go. Ready?
I'm ready for this.
Here we go.
I'm not ready for
Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh, we got it. Yep. Oh, let's go. You're gonna hurt me.
Are you ready? Here we go. Full
I
speed.
didn't even see where it's at. Okay, go for it. Go
Your butt's in the way. I can't move it. Booty blocking the gas.
Okay, that was really fun.
But
You're a terrible driver. You couldn't get me close enough.
alright, I'll take the L for this one.
Yeah. You got this. You got this, Laura.
Right through the clown's mouth.
Chip that sand. Try again. You gotta get below it. You gotta dig into that sand. There you go.
Let's go.
There you go.
Feeling pressure? You have to get to the green before I
I don't
putt.
even know where my ball is at, so I don't feel no pressure yet.
Alright, Laura's more comfortable now. That's what's important. She's in flip-flops, but now she feels comfortable in that summer dress. Getting warmed up, about feeling it now. She's ready now. Skoronsky's officially warmed up.
You won't hurt the grass. Woo! Yeah! You did it!
Get in the hole! You have an idea of what to do?
Uh-huh.
Take me through the game plan.
I'm gonna take this 7 here.
And?
Put it onto the green.
About 40 yards out. Am I putting?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Well, it was a brutal round to say the least. But at least Matty had an excuse. He's got a broken foot and sandals on. The girls too were wearing flip flops. I don't know who told them what golf attire was. They just weren't ready for the big show yesterday. So PGA rooters, if you're out there, if you're watching, we understand if we're not tour material just yet. But I'm gonna keep working on my game. Hopefully, it can get better. Well, we all likely deserved a punishment for how we played yesterday, and in a fantasy football league, a poor performance led to a cruel and unusual punishment. Travis, you have to tell us more about this story.
So I was just going through Twitter on the 18th, so what is that, 3 nights ago? And I came upon this guy, Lee Sanderlin. He's an investigative and political reporter for the Clarion Ledger in Mississippi. Well, he finished last place in his fantasy football league. And the punishment, you have to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House. Now, you do get to sit out in your car to recharge the phone and whatnot, but you cannot leave the property. However, you can get an hour cut off by every waffle from the Waffle House that you ate. So the man ate in 24-hour span, he ate 9 waffles, so he only had to spend 15 hours. He got there at 4 o'clock local time in the afternoon and left at 7 a.m. the next morning. And he left. It's all on Twitter. If you follow Lee, he spent his 15 hours. You can see everything that went on. He actually did have to go outside and use the bushes for reasons to open up some more stomach space. But my question to you guys is, what is the worst punishment that you've ever had to go through or that you've seen? Not only fantasy football or something like that for you guys. Brian, I'll start with you.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to marinate on this one for just 1 second, but real quickly, I want to go to Storm. He and I recently had his first ever Waffle House experience. We went on a little excursion through Kentucky and Indiana, and Storm, we can both verify that place. It's like the Wild West in there, buddy. Like all bets are off when you walk into a Waffle House. So 15 hours, bro, that's doing it, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised he made it out alive, to be honest, because I didn't think we were going to make it out alive, and we were there for maybe a half hour. I also don't know how he ate 15 waffles because I ate one and I thought I was going to throw up. It was pretty good though, not going to lie. Like the waffle was good. I think that might have been a little bit of the, blue moon from the previous night, but I don't know how he spent all that time in there and made it out alive or with his wallet, because it really is the Wild West. Waffle House is a crazy, crazy place.
Yeah, of all the adventures that we had that weekend where we went to Indiana, I think Waffle House, like right there, competing with some of the other crazy excursions we had. Thinking about some of the worst though, Travis, I would think it would have to have something to do with eating. I've definitely lost some bets in the past where I've had to go out into the backyard and I've had to find like roly-polies and worms, and I've had to eat those. One time, and I think this actually might be the worst. I'll go with this one. We had to drink suntan lotion at a party for a loss, and I also one time ate a live centipede. That was horrifying. But my friend, he was not letting me get out of that punishment. I had to put the thing in my mouth, and believe me, I started chomping right. I think those things are actually poisonous. So I made sure that I mashed them up real good with the old chompers.
Oh yeah, that takes the cake. Yeah. Anything for you, G?
G-Man, can you top that?
No, definitely not. I've seen a few on Twitter for fantasy football, though, but I guess mine would be involving some sort of running punishment. I've seen a few fantasy football players have to wear like a baby diaper and like a onesie and have to run like a 5K mile in it. So that would be my worst punishment, but I've never had to do that because I would never agree to something like that. But I don't know. The gauntlet is coming up, so.
Oh, look out, Lady Rams! We'll be out there real soon. We'll get old Big League involved in that this year. We'll see where our cardio conditioning's at, and who knows, man? Maybe if that Waffle House guy had Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield on his roster, he would have had a chance last season. Mayfield, of course, if you don't remember, he led the Browns to their first playoff appearance since I was cool, clear back in 2003, and won the organization's first postseason game since the team returned in 1999. A massive beatdown of Berardi's beloved Steelers, where Cleveland dropped 48 on them at their place. But does Mayfield have moving forward to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback? Not just a playoff quarterback, but a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Storm, what say you about shake and bake and delivering a Lombardi to the city by the lake?
I did pose this question, but even at the time and even thinking about it now, I really don't think I even have an answer. It pretty much depends on if he can play as good as he has played before. Because when he's on, he's really on. But I mean, when he's off, it is like you might as well start Ben DiNucci. I mean, because when he's off, he can't find a rhythm. It's rough. But I mean, if he's on, yeah, I definitely believe that he could be a Super Bowl quarterback, and it's not going to be easy. And he can't win it alone. He's got to utilize his teammates well, but he's just got to be on. He's got to have his momentum going into the game. He can't be off. He can't let the nerves get to him. He's just got to be 100% focused through the whole season, I think.
All right. G-Man, I know that the Browns in Mayfield, they have to go play your Vikings on the road in Minnesota. I imagine we're going to get the dub there, but are we going to move on, get more wins, and are the Browns Super Bowl contenders in the future with Mayfield running the show?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I don't see how you can say no. Mayfield really doesn't have to do much. I mean, he's surrounded with great players. He's got to hand it off to Chubb and really let his O-line dominate up front. The Browns, I believe, had the number one offseason. They added so much talent, and they're getting OBJ back. I believe they're the third best team in the AFC behind the Chiefs and the Bills, and I think they're going to be in the AFC running to get to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure how Baker's going to play, but I believe he doesn't have to do much. Hand it off 2 times to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and then on third down, play action, boot off of that and get it to – I mean, you got Rashad Higgins – OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Austin Hooper. I mean, you got weapons at your disposal. It's not going to take that much, man. This roster is loaded.
Yeah, I can see that the cold sweats forming on Travis's forehead now as a Steelers fan, just thinking about all those weapons that we have. Are we going to be Super Bowl contenders with Mayfield, Trav?
Well, first of all, that wild card game, blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Just saying that. No, but
that was
the Browns
a big nut
do
that
have,
we found too.
Sorry, very big one. Too bad you can exchange that into beating Kansas City next week because you had a backup quarterback run and get the first, all that. But anyway, taking the Steelers cap off for a second, the Browns do have a lot of pieces to be a contender in the AFC. They have the defensive pieces. They have a bunch of big playmakers. I said it before, Nick Chubb changed the direction of the running game for the Cleveland Browns when he got drafted, and I wanted the Steelers to draft him. However, we did get a pretty good running back this year, but I think the Browns, with the season they had last year, they solidified themselves as at least a contender in the AFC. It's not going to be like the fluke where you guys won, 10 games, 10 years ago or whatever it was, and then the next year you went back to being a very bad team. I think the Browns solidified their spot as becoming a contender for the next few years at least. I'm going to say that.
And I think it's because of Mayfield.
Putting the Steelers cap back on, we're going to beat you. That was a fluke. We're just going to take you guys out. We may split in a regular season. It's going to be a rivalry once again, which I'm happy. The rivalry's back, but we're just going to take you down. Hat off. I think the Browns do have a legit chance.
Yeah, just to go through a few numbers for you, Travis, from last season. Baker, 63% passes he completed, 26 touchdowns, only 8 picks, 96 passer rating, 12 games they won, and most of those came without OBJ, like G-Man just mentioned. So the fact that we got him back, I don't know if y'all are watching the Instagrams and seeing how fast he looks right now on that restructured knee, but he looks pretty good. Jarvis says that he's even faster than he was before. So with a full complement of talent this year, combined with that upgraded defense, again, like Garrett said, what an offseason the Browns had. You really have to take your cap off, since we're doing that here today, to our GM, Andrew Berry. So bringing in that talent, Clowney, how about Johnson out there playing safety? We drafted some great pieces at corner too. So I think with that combined with Mayfield, the Browns should be the Super Bowl favorite in Vegas this year. I want to put that on their shoulders because I think Baker's got what it takes to carry the load and get us all the way to the big game. But Baker, he doesn't need any stickum on his fingers to sling the rock around for the Brownies, but evidently plenty of Major League stars do need some sticky stuff to showcase their best stuff. So Travis, you're kind of our baseball guy. You really love the sport. What's your take on pitchers in baseball bending the rules just a little bit with their sticky fingers on their throwing hands?
Well, if you've ever had a baseball in your hands, it's kind of smooth. And for a pitcher to actually grip it, they need to really dig their fingers, their fingernails into the ball to get some grip. But what they use, sometimes they use some of the sticky stuff. It's supposed to be rosin and spit. Rosin bags are legal and they're used, but that's supposed to get you grip so they can actually grip and get a little control. Midway through the season, the MLB did this whole knockdown on all these sticky things. The spider tack, I think, is one of them. It's a really sticky surface to cut down on pitchers being able to, control, get more curve on their curveball, more slide on the slider and whatnot. But actually, it's hurting these pitchers because now without the sticky stuff, they have to kind of change the way they throw. They have to kind of change the grip. Tyler Glass now from the Tampa Bay Rays, he might have to have Tommy John surgery because he, midway through a couple starts before he got hurt, had to change his whole delivery, and it taxed his arm more, and it hurt him. Jacob deGrom, who has one of the fastest fastballs in the game right now, he's hurt with arm soreness because he had to change that grip. Now, I think MLB has to come up with some type of substance that all pitchers can use, because pitchers right now are throwing 100 miles an hour regularly. And if they can't get a good grip on that, one of these are going to go at a head of a batter and could really seriously injure them. So Major League Baseball needs some sort of sticky substance that all pitchers can use to, I guess, keep safety in major leagues, because velocity right now has gone up 5-6 miles an hour compared to 10 years ago. It's not a 95 mile an hour fastball that you think is fast. It's now 100 to 103 miles an hour. We just had a pitcher throw an 103 mile an hour fastball last night, the fastest pitch ever recorded in Major League Baseball history. So yes, sticky stuff, it kind of is cheating in a way to help, pitchers get a little more curve or slip on that pitch. But at the same time, they do need a little bit of that sticky stuff on the ball just to keep the control and keep the ball over the plate instead of at somebody's head.
Yeah, I might suggest maybe just having like a Cinnabon in the dugout for every team so they can come over, get a little roll in between the innings, get some of that sticky sauce on their fingers there. And I know it sounds like G-Man really is a big fan of that plan from the head nodding. What do you think, though, about Major League Baseball saying that, hey, it helps you throw the ball, but they're trying to eliminate the sticky stuff, if you will? G, what's your take?
I mean, I kind of see both sides, but I see where Travis is saying that it helps in the safety, aspect, but at the same time, it's helping the pitchers and really putting the batters at a disadvantage. So the MLB, I mean, they're at a double-edged sword right now. It's going to be tough to go one side or the other, but I'm sure they're probably going to go with the safety route, which is usually what most organizations will do. So I guess it's just time will tell. I think I think it's cheating, and I don't think you should be allowed to do it because I don't think it's fair. It puts the pitchers at a huge advantage and the batters at a disadvantage.
Well, like Richard Petty famously said, NASCAR driver that I'm sure you guys know about, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So it works for a lot of athletes and teams, a la maybe Lance Armstrong worked out pretty well. The Patriots got quite a few championships. Maybe those are bad examples. If you don't get caught, who cares, right?
Well, Major League Baseball pitchers have been using it forever, too. Pitchers have been using this stuff
nobody's
forever.
cared up
It's
to
not
this
like
point,
it's
so
new.
why care now? I think that's kind of where I stand on it. But if you guys didn't know, it's been over 3,500 days and counting since Michigan last beat Ohio State on the football field. So that team up north being desperate to stop the bleeding. And the most overpaid coach in the history of sports, Jim Harbaugh, and his staff put up a sign in the locker room begging the question, what did you do to beat OSU? Storm, you're a Wolverines fan. What's your thought on Harbaugh's new tactic, just making sure that his guys are doing something to ensure that he finally knocks off the Scarlet and Gray?
Well, I think Harbaugh is one of the worst coaches in Michigan football history, personally. Just not a very good coach. If you can't beat Ohio State, you can't work at Michigan. I'm sorry. I mean, and it hasn't happened in a while, and I don't know what his whole ploy is. I mean, we've gotten our butts handed to us for the last however many years, and it's embarrassing. It's literally embarrassing to be a Wolverines fan because what do we have? I mean, I like basketball. I like Wolverines basketball, but our football program, it's just a joke to be a fan of, and it all starts with Harbaugh. So I don't really know what his whole thing is what did you do to beat OSU? Harbaugh, my question to you is, what have you done in the past few years to beat OSU? Oh, nothing. That's right. Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Wow, point well taken. And I love hearing that from a Michigan fan. I know G-Man, Travis, you guys are both kind of new on this subject, so we'll begin with you, Garrett. What's your take on, and lots of teams do this. They'll have little saying their rival, Ohio State, of course, that they have the countdown ticker that's always going to when they play Michigan next. What do you think about Harbaugh adopting some of that and trying to motivate his kids strictly to beat the Buckeyes?
Obviously, being a Buckeyes fan, I'm a little biased, but I really just kind of want to be neutral on this and trying to just think of it as a football player walking into the locker room. I feel like he's trying to ignite the rivalry a little bit for the Michigan. Obviously, they really don't have much to go for in the past few years. They've really been dominated. The games really haven't even been close. So I think he's trying to ignite a fire underneath his players, and let's see if it works this year. I just think Harbaugh's system doesn't work in a college football setting. A pro-style system, I believe that's more fit for the NFL. I believe that's why he worked in the NFL. College is more loose. It's just really get it to your athletes. A pro system is not the college scheme for me, and that's why I believe Michigan is always on the wrong end of the stick. They're always in the L column. But I can see what he's trying to do. It just kind of came off the wrong way. It's like, I mean, you can't beat him. I guess let's try to beat him in the weight room. I don't know.
Well, they haven't been able to beat him. Travis, do you think this tactic is going to pay off for Harbaugh and company? Does it work?
Well, it needs to pay off for Harbaugh and company, because if not, he's going to be working at State Farm with his khakis. I mean, it's a typical rivalry type deal. Everybody does it. I see that, but I honestly think Michigan's probably going to have another terrible year this year coming up. And if he doesn't beat Ohio State at least, he's done. So I think he's just trying to get all that motivation back because his job is on the line.
The best part about it, Travis, is that
gave him an extension, didn't they, Storm?
Yeah, that's the best part about it. Is we'll keep losing to Ohio State, and we're gonna keep him. And I don't know why, because our football program's a joke, man. It used to be good, and now it's just a joke. So go Wolverines basketball. That's all I can say.
You can't be a coach if you can't beat your rival, especially in Michigan.
You can't beat your coach if you keep losing in a historically good program. It's literally a joke, bro. Harbaugh's a bonehead. Oh my goodness, man! It gets my blood boiling even thinking about it.
Oh, man, I think that's the perfect quote to end today's show on. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, chopping it up. And I'm about to go paddleboarding today with Jory down the Yampa River, and I've got tons of other adventures lined up over the next couple of weeks, including I got some whitewater rafting, going to do some hiking, gambling against some actual real card sharks in an old gold mining town. We're going to take a natural spring bath in a cave. I'm staying in a tiny home for 2 days. I don't even know if a couple of our employees could even fit through the door to get in there, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm going to be filming just about everything. So look out for O on the Road, Colorado Summer Edition dropping over the next several days. It is going to be a hell of a ride. Super looking forward to it. And I know that you guys are going to be holding it down back in the home front in North Central Ohio. So if you do, real quick, want to kind of preview what's coming up, at least this week, what do you guys have in store? We'll go around the little Brady Bunch circle here. Travis, what can the people expect to see on OH.Report this week?
Well, it's week number 3 for the 3-on-3 girls basketball league. I did, week 2 back at Gallion. They're at Clear Fork tonight. So I'm going to be there. And also there's a possibility of some OH.Report breaking news. I can't say anything else about that, but just stick with OH.Report because we might have some news for you here in the next day or so. Also, maybe I'm trying to line up another interview for our year in review segment, so we'll look forward for that. But basketball, a couple interviews, and maybe get out to some practices as well, because I know G and Storm, they're going to say they've been busy on the gridiron with these summer practices.
Yeah, dynamic duo. What videos are going to be dropping here in the next couple of days that people can see?
Well, we'll have we definitely have a Clear Fork summer workout video that's in the works. The Blaine Bowman video versus G-Man, that is also coming. And I believe we have a few other schools on the schedule we want to head out and see. And then definitely we're going to try to get out sometime either this week or early next week and put G-Man against some of his Crestview wide receivers over there.
I know. Yeah, I'm going to be looking forward to that. And hopefully, hey, a little bit of redemption, G. You got go back into Cougar country where I know you got your name on the wall out there, homecoming king, the whole 9 yards. Let these current high schools show you up. You got to get some redemption out there, baby.
Yeah, I'm definitely not losing this next one. That one That one hit me hard. You know, when I walked off that field, man, I was like, wow, I just got really humiliated. And it really hit my soul. You know, I've been in Ski's House of Pain, like I said, been working, running, getting some cardio in. So I'm ready to go. Cressy, you better watch out. Coach Haverdale, you guys better watch out. I'm coming for your wide receiver jobs.
Storm, can we get a hype for this? Get a hype. We need the hype man in here to get him ready for this.
Get it.
Oh, he's coming. He's coming to G.
Let's go, G-Man! Let's go, baby! You got it this time! You got it this time, bro! You got to redeem yourself! You can't go out there and get embarrassed! What are you doing? Let's go! Get your head out your ass! Come on!
I think
All
G's
right,
just got
that's
put
it
on
for
a 10-day
episode 2
deal
of
with
the
concussion.
OH Report. G-Man, ready for action? I'm heading out to the water. Enjoy your week, guys.